Today, I'll show you how I made this standing aid, lifting aid, mobility aid for folks that are having troubles getting out of chairs, or maybe they've got an injury, and so you can use this at different levels. This combines 2 or 3 different devices that each cost around $30 to $40, sometimes even $50. And you can make this guy for around $15. Interested? Here we go. Here's one of the designs that I'm basing mine on. You've got a handle here, and people complain that that length is not long enough, so mine will be adjustable. And this base looks relatively small, although there's advantages to a circle. I don't think the base is strong enough, and yet it's fairly highly rated and costs around $30. First example was a riser. This one's called a lifter. Usually runs $40. It's on sale right now, $22.95. There's a little extra off, but it's just a 2-grip handle. Highly rated. If you bought both separately, around $50, $60. And my build, I'm going to incorporate design features of both of these. There's a lot of parts in this build, but none of them are very expensive. You have 4 elbows. These are 3/4 inch elbows. 4 T's. You have a 10.5 inch long, 3/4 inch PVC pipe. Now you could use white. I'm just using gray kind of as an offset in color. 3 5-inch long pieces of pipe. 4 2.5 inch long pieces of pipe. And then these are just shy of 1.5 inches, and there's 4 of those. And then I'm using these chair tips, and they're 1 inch 25 millimeter. We're using number 10, 24, 1.5 inch long sheen screws. You can get this for about $1. And then you don't have to get this many, but we're using the 1024 nylon lock nuts. We'll need 2 of these and 2 of these. Tools, you need a PVC pipe cutter, or you can use a hacksaw, a drill and a drill bit, a tape measure of sorts, or this is a ruler, some sort of sanding sponge, and then you're going to be gluing these up, and I'm just using a handy pack here, clear cleaner, and clear all-purpose cement. Besides the sanding sponge, a deburring tool and some sort of small file also are very helpful in cleaning up these PVC joints. Better than a file though is this deburring tool, because it just gets right in there and cleans it right up. I'm going to do an evaluation on deburring tools because they're just that impressive. Carves it right down flat. Just go around and makes real quick work of it. Nice and smooth. And then you can also use the sandpaper. You may or may not be able to see some lettering here. You can take all that lettering out. You could just sand all this down, or you could just leave it rough. Totally up to you. Here you have an exploded view of the build. Everything's sanded and cleaned up. You can see the screws here. For other similar constructions, this dimension is 15 inches. I've expanded it out to 17 inches based on comments I saw on other designs that people say that's too short. Now the advantage of with this design is that you have 2. You have one that's about 12 inches and one that's 17 inches. So you can push off of here and you can push off of here. I may change that. I might make it longer, I might make it shorter. So if I glued this up, and you certainly could glue these 2 T-sections together, that would be great, but you would not be able to take and adjust this without starting all over because everything else is glued up. Okay, so I've used a center punch and I've actually gone in, and you can see a line right here, and I've lined up the pipe. You can actually see inside and see that the pipe is right to the edge there, so it's a nice strong fit. I'm coming in about 1 centimeter or 3/8 inches on either side. I'm using a 11/64 inch drill bit and drill all the way through. I've drilled the holes, and you can maybe see that I've marked a line here and an H here and an H here. That represents the handle, and then B, for those 2 pieces, that's the base. This is going to be a really nice and tight fit, so the thing's not going to wobble around, and it's going to be very strong, almost like it was glued up. Without even putting on the nylon lock nuts, that thing is dialed in, it's locked solid. It's pretty important that this bottom is straight for the post right here. And how am I going to do that? Well, I've marked R on one side and L on this side. Of course, we have the B down there. And fortunately, we have some lines here that I'm going to take advantage of. So we know those are perpendicular. So all we have to do is get some sort of square, put it up there against this guy. That should get us pretty close. And I'm using pencil as a marker so that I can easily erase it. And then I'll just carry through this line onto here. So when I glue it up, because you don't have much time, I'll have all the parts right together. So outside we go to glue some stuff up. Here's the setup. I got the glue and the cleaner. I've got the separate pieces. These are just mushroom containers we like to recycle. Great for little projects like this. And I'm wearing a mask, and I'm doing it outside to be heavily ventilated because this stuff probably won't kill you immediately, but if you do a lot of work with it, it's just not good for you anyway. So here we go. I think I'm going to do the bottom or the base first. Means this guy, because I'm concerned about that one piece sticking up and doing its job. So let's get that out. And the two connectors and everything else after that should go rather smoothly. I'm also wearing gloves, and I have some paper towels on the ready. I don't really care about the surface too much, and the surface wipes up fairly easily, but it might be best to do this on cardboard or something that you can throw away when you're done. So let's get the L and the L, the right and the right. Okay, got these two pieces ready, and this is going to go rather quickly. Okay, set that to the side, and now for the glue portion. Now this is kind of gooey and sticky if you've never worked with it before. You want to put plenty in there. So let's push that guy in there. You can kind of see it's all the way in. Now you can twist and lock this, and you don't have much time to work with it. Yeah, see, that's already locked in. A little bit of twist, press it down. Okay, now I'm going to do these guys. Same steps. Clean, glue. I might not put so much on this time. You want enough, but not too much. Pick one. And you know, you can kind of see through there, see whether or not you're getting it all the way to the end. Twist it if you want. Sometimes twist it. Yeah, see, that's all already locked up. All these pieces have been cleaned, and you notice that I've kind of put it in the assembly, how it's going to go. That way I don't accidentally glue that up like this. The rest of it will go rather quickly and easily. So the first thing I'm going to do is glue this side, then I'm going to glue that side, and then I'm going to glue that in there, and then put it all together. Alright, so I'm going to get this guy in here. So push that in there, push it tight, push this in here, get that all together, nice and straight. Alright, get that down nice and level. Push down, make sure they're even on both sides. So here we go. Get in there, and then push them down. Yeah, that's nice and flat, all square. So here's the final pieces. Now, as far as cleanup goes, you can use acetone. Sometimes you can scrape off any extra glue. It's still soft while you're waiting. You could sand this down, but I'm pretty happy the way it turned out. Another great thing about this project is it's transportable. If you wanted to go on a trip and you wanted to pack it away in luggage, disassemble it this way, and then when you get to your site, just put it back together. And I'm just going to push these on. And they're going to be tight, and that's the way you want them. And the reason why these end tips are on there is to stabilize the bottom, but also to give you grip, both on the side here, on the flat bottom, but also on the side here. depending on how you want to hook something. These are a pretty snug fit, and I was having problems putting it on. So what I did is just got some water, and you can just run around the inside here, and that will help you slide them on. And the water will dry out pretty quickly. There you go. So I can discern the top and the bottom now that I've erased all the marks. I've actually put, in this case, a silver marker on the top and a little blue matte marker on the bottom, and that's what I'm calling the back. Now, a couple of thoughts on how to finish this off. This works fine, and for most people, you might want to have the little edge as a grip, but if you're sensitive to that, there's a couple options. You could insert a coupling in here. You can actually get them a little longer, about that size, so that would be flush here and flush there. The other thing you can do is bevel the edges like I did in this gem ring build that I had. You can file and sand down those edges to make them nice and smooth, or I'm going to finish it off in this case with this comfort grip. It's just a racket handle grip. I got it pretty cheap, so we're going to try putting this guy on and seeing how it works, and just wrapping it here on the top. So let's take the base off and we'll work on that. The great thing about this is you can build it up as little or as much as you want. Or you can use electrical tape or duct tape and do something like I did on this project and just wrap it. In this case, blue electrical tape. Electrical tape and duct tape comes in many different colors, and so there's plenty of options on color to design it specifically for you or for the person that you're making it for. And here it is all together. It works great lifting on the side. Maybe you're on a couch and you want to lift up from that. You can use it at this level, at this level. I kind of like that grip, that tennis grip. Just out of curiosity, I decided to go with a 9.5, which is the original, down to 8. And then I'm going to do a 6, and I'll show you the comparison. You don't want to make it any longer than 9.5, and the reason why is because then it moves around a little bit too much, and as you make it shorter, the stronger it's actually going to be. This is what 8 looks like. Still functions quite well to the original intent, maybe a little better. So I'm trying to find the sweet spot here. So let's do 6 next. Here's the 6-inch version. This is 4 inches tall. What I call the middle handle is around 9 inches tall, and then this is 14 inches tall. You got a whole host of options here on height. That's what I try to do with all my builds, build in options so that you can customize it for what you want to do. So now it's time to go and test this guy out and see how it does. All right, I'm coming up with what I consider worst case situations for getting out of really soft chairs and a lounge chair that I think is nearly impossible to get out of, even when you don't have a bad back. So here we go. I'm going to use the side this time, and I'm going to try to push off mostly with my arm. Yeah, that works pretty good. This is independent, doing it on your own. If I had the taller version, it would be up around here on the handle, and then this is about the height of where this would be. But we're just going to give the shorter guy a chance here. So I'm just pushing on here and going to use mostly arm. Scoot up forward and push off. Okay, seems to work. Let's use on this hand. And that's how it works with this guy. Here's what I consider the absolute worst case. A very low to the ground lounge chair. Oh, you're gonna give me that one? Okay, so I'm gonna try pulling up like this. All right, relatively easy. Try it this way. Oh man, hold on. All right. Okay, we're gonna try a couple more times. Bend with your knees. I don't want you hurting your back. There we go. And now, the legal message. I can't guarantee your design or how you're going to assemble something that looks like this. This is to give you some ideas But if you're going to make this design, you're on your own as far as the quality of your build and how it turns out. And if you have improvements on this design, please share with the group, because I'd be really interested to find out what you might be able to come up with. Thumbs up and comments always appreciated. Thanks for watching. This is the first in a series of videos on how to make stuff that's going to help people with disabilities or some sort of mobility challenge. There's a lot of things out there that people are overpaying for, and it kind of makes me upset, so I'm going to come up with some of my own designs that you can make a lot cheaper. If you're interested in this kind of stuff, cosplay, making breaking things, home repairs, working outside, check out my channel and please subscribe, because you never know what you're going to see.